So Taylor, I
Oh,
got another question.
wait. She want to jump in it. What's up, YouTube? 2020 Tantra on Amazon. You shamelessly promote before it. Audra Bear on Amazon. I mean, on Instagram.
Gotta get the intro.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Now, what did you want to say?
Okay, so I had a question for you now.
Yeah.
I had this conversation with some of my friends the other day about self-love, because you were talking about consciousness and how, like, that's all a big part of it, right?
Definitely.
But can you love yourself fully by still wanting to change?
What, like?
If there's like, so say you're like on the mission to lose weight or become healthier or increase your finances or whatever it is that still self-love and acceptance if you're not at where you want to be?
Yeah, I think you just have to accept where you are, you know, and reflect on the road that got you there, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Definitely. And yeah, I feel like if you just work your way back from there in the sense of like undoing things, you know, like you really start to see, like, as you begin to cleanse, you know, that it's just, that's what I feel it comes down to, cleansing, and in all ways, you know, cleansing yourself of different thoughts and different, you know, concepts and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. To me, like, the love is going to be automatic. Like, you know what I mean? Like, your being naturally does that. You know what I mean? Like, that's natural. You know what I mean? Like, you naturally, like, embody the Tao and have, like, you selflessly give. That's, like, the natural thing. We're, like, in the nature of the unnatural at this point. And I feel like that, you know, it's more like an undoing and an unworking in a sense. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, just kind of retracing your steps or going through your days in a sense where you're like, man, where am I sharp to myself? Like, where am I, like, hard on myself? Where do I lie to myself and that type of stuff? And then just letting that all go. I just feel like it's just concepts, man. Like, the concepts that create this whole like, because hating and loving yourself, you have to create a self to hate it and then love it. You know what I mean? Because then you got create this concept of what you are, because you define yourself.
Yeah, because everyone's looking for definitions, right? I'm this, I live here, I'm this age, like whatever it is, you know? Like, we're always looking for those titles. Yeah,
and definitions create separation, you know what I mean? Like, that's, definitions create this and that, and Audra and Taylor and all that type of stuff, like, that type of stuff is definition, you know what I mean? It's opposed to oneness in a sense. So I feel like that you have to create a definition, then you create another definition to judge it, you know, like all this, it's just, I think it's definitely stemming from the pride and this illusion of separation that you can, like, lie to yourself somehow or get away with something in general, like the universe can forget about you, or like there's any separation between creator and created, you know, like. And I feel like, the definitions are the issue as far as self-love. Like, if your identity is infinity, then the alignment, you know, will just happen. You know, creation, I feel like, is an alignment. So as you align yourself with that identity of infinity, I feel like everything becomes effortless. You're aligning yourself with the universal will, universal creator, and you're just getting with that momentum to the point where, you know, not doing in a sense. You're doing complete movements, so there's no mess. You know, you're not holding in your tears now or holding back smiles now, so that later on you got to do breath work to counter that, you know, when you're 25 or whatever, or 30, because you didn't cry when you were 20, you know, that type of stuff. I feel like it's just all the definitions, because you create a definition, like, of who you are. You're like, Taylor wouldn't cry in this moment, you know what I mean? Like, my definition, it wouldn't cry in this moment. Like, Taylor
instead of listening to what you actually want to be doing,
because you're
coming
thinking
up with that facade or that mask.
Yep, you're thinking about what you feel instead of just feeling it. And I feel like that's the issue, is that, you know, that creates the self-conscious thing, and then you create the definition or concept of self, and then when that's not in alignment with your ideals or the values that come from the persona, like, if the results aren't what you want, like, because, you know, life's just gonna bend you. I feel like life's just gonna bend you in the way it chooses to. So I feel like when you're inflexible and, you know, life isn't going the way you're trying to fit life into your ideals, then you're always going to be disappointed. So then you're just going to rapidly age, because you're just constantly expecting things, you know. And I just feel like that is the expectation. All that is just coming from separation, you know. Because you expect things because you lose sight of the universal law that you get what you give. So I don't know how you can expect anything other than what you gave. So, you know what I mean? And I feel like that just all ties in, you know, the one law, universal law, the oneness of being, and all that type of stuff, the integral oneness. I feel like that's all, you obstruct that when you create definition. And I feel like that's what creates the idea of a self, when there is no self. Like, you know, when you don't see self as self, there's nothing to fear. But If you see the world as yourself, then you can care for all things. If you see separation, you can't care for all things. Yeah.
Cool. That's a great answer.
Yeah, I just feel like, like when, as far as eating, you like, man, I see separation in the sense that like I'm eating for entertainment value and I'm valuing my tongue over my liver and pancreas and stuff like that. But it's all one system, and you create hierarchy in the body in that sense, like, and then hierarchy expresses itself externally. People have parasites, colonialism runs rampant, and the world has kings and queens and governments. It's just funny, but it all, and then but if you reduce to the point where you just get back to this identity of nothing, which is unfathomable infinity, then there's nothing that you have to fear, because you are nothing, and I feel like from that point, then you definitely you're in position to express the love that is your true nature, so I think that's my spiel.
Cool.
On that. Yeah,
that's powerful.
Yeah, you brought that out of me. You brought that out of me right there.
For the answer.
Thank you, yo. I hope the wind didn't mess it up too much, but whatever. You take that.
Whatever.
2020 Tantra on Amazon, Audra Bear on IG, info in the description. Anything else you want to say?
No, that was great.
All right, word.
Good answer.
Word. Thank you.